Sins of our fathers. Is there such a thing as collective sin, a burden passed down through blood, a shadow that walks the family line? Hi. My father was an alcoholic. He has been one for most of his life. Life near him was never easy, sometimes it was hell. And yet somehow I survived. It feels like I stood before a hurricane, still, unblinking, and it passed through me. It tore at everything I was, but something beyond reason kept me standing. I don't know where the strength came from, maybe from God, maybe from the parts of me that refused to disappear. And if I had to face that storm again, I think I would break. But grace only needs one miracle, and somehow I made it through. My family chose the bliss of ignorance. They knew but looked away. They tended the drunk, not the wounded. They preferred the illusion of normal. As long as daylight saw peace, night could scream all it wanted. That was my problem. It's hard to live under constant emotional abuse because there are no scars to show, no autopsy of the soul, no evidence for a broken heart. Justice in this world is often a dream too far away to touch. We call children pure, we pretend they are born clean, but we all inherit something. Pain, shame, silence, blood remembers. And when someone becomes a monster, we struggle to punish them. Our empathy dries up, so we find softer targets, those nearby, the family, the witnesses, the ones too human to hate and too close to forgive. Guilt by association, what a convenient invention. Surely they must have known. How could they love such a man? How could they not be guilty too? These questions are not questions. They are verdicts disguised as logic. At every lynching, there's a whisper. There might be a witch. We don't seek the truth. We seek release. We throw pain like stones, hoping it lands somewhere. But there are no refunds. There's only forward. You see this pattern all the time. In the show Inventing Anna, and in so many stories we consume, the families of those who committed crimes are haunted like ghosts of guilt. People say they must have known, they must have seen the signs, as if proximity alone is proof of participation. But that's the trick of the human mind. We crave a reason. We need to make sense of horror, and if we can't find the cause, we create one. And so, instead of seeking truth, we settle for someone to blame. There's no court of law there, only the court of public opinion, loud, untrained, and hungry for a verdict. And that's how we end up punishing the innocent twice. That's how the cycle of pain keeps spinning, each turn dressed as justice, each scream mistaken for the truth. The wheel of pain keeps spinning, someone has to stop it or we all burn. I was given that gift, to stop. It meant carrying the pain with nowhere to put it. It meant becoming the filter between hell and heaven. This path isn't easy, but it's the only one I know that leads back to God. If you stay on it long enough, one day God looks back and grants you the strength to save yourself. Because no one can save you but you. We all say we want to end the cycle, but pain and violence are the easiest currencies of power. They buy control, they buy silence. Still, I believe it's possible to fight with flowers and prayers, even if it looks insane. We think survival demands cruelty, as if the world were our enemy, as if sacrifice was the price of existence. But what if we've had it backward? What if the offering the world waits for is kindness? What if turning pain into love is not naive but revolutionary? There will always be suffering, duality demands it, but the cosmos already has enough pain. We need not create more. I fight within. The hardest wars are fought in silence. Our minds are galaxies, each thought a star we choose to light or extinguish. Even those who lose themselves in fantasy, in magic worlds and stories, prove the power of creation that lives within us. The mind can build worlds, reshape pain, and call peace into being. Reality itself is filtered through belief. We see not the world as it is, but as we are. And so, we must choose what we believe carefully. These days, no one is a perfect warrior of truth. The world is too complex, too loud, you'd need lifetimes to understand it all, and a fortune to afford the time. And even then, you'd blink, science would change, and you'd start again. We are bound by space and time, by each other, by our limits. We are dirt made conscious, given breath, asked only to try, to do our best. When my father grew old and still refused help, my family asked me to become his nurse. But I had walked through that fire once. To enter again would mean death. I chose to live, because that's the one command I heard from God when I came into this world. Survive. So I offered help, but only the kind that didn't destroy me. Not out of guilt, not out of duty, out of love. The kind that stops the cycle, that doesn't feed the beast again. They didn't understand. They saw rebellion where I saw mercy. They saw cruelty where I saw survival. But I know what I chose. I've seen my mother trapped in her own pledge to the devil, marriage as a life sentence. And I learned belief can be a prison. Even love, if it demands your life, is not love, it's a contract with pain. My story is not unique. I've heard it in therapy circles, in hushed confessions, in tired eyes across the room. Children of addicts raised to clean the mess, trained from birth to bear the sins of those who broke them. It's a double tragedy. The oppressor escapes attention and the broken become accused. The fire burns the innocent twice. But I believe we can end it. We can choose another way, turn pain into love, save ourselves first, then maybe save the world. The sins of our fathers are not ours to carry, but the healing can be. Thank you so much for watching.